Coach's Corner with Coach Heck and the infamous Coach Patrick King.
Did you ever have any incentives on your contracts at high school?
I did. One incentive that I had was, heck, if you can go through the year without 15 technical fouls, you're going to get another $500. And you know what I said? That ain't worth it to me. He said, Rod, you're second in the state in technicals after the first week of your high school coaching career. We have a little gig at Dorban's Old Town Tap, and that was pretty cool. The food was pretty good. It was kind of more us, you know, the clientele, people coming in, couldn't talk, didn't have any teeth. That was more our style. And then
The West Side.
I mean, I'm a West Sider. Come on, man. I'm a West Sider. I got my right pant leg up, by the way.
Welcome to Coach's Corner with Heck and King, live from Corby's Irish Pub in South Bend. We are presented to you by Tony Letcher with Health Markets Insurance, Han Funeral Home in Mishawaka, the Harbor Group Planned Wealth in Anderson, the Black Sedan Band in Birmingham, Alabama, and our newest partners, Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic and the Savory Colonel Popcorn Shop, both in Granger. Thanks for joining us for another season of streams on YouTube. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and drop a 5-star review in your podcast feed. Now here's Heck and King.
We are back. Are you kidding me? Another year.
Welcome.
God has been great to us, right?
Welcome back. That's
our
right.
Third week of May, we shut down, take a little summertime siesta, enjoy life. I know you're on the golf course 24/7.
Played this morning.
And good, you know what I say? Good for freaking you, man.
The heavy stuff didn't come down for a while, did it?
Yeah.
Our fact checker, Mr. WKRP, the great Kenny Peterson, is here with us for a little bit tonight. And I can't tell you how glad it is, or I feel, to be back on this show. We have a lot of things to talk about. We're going to talk with one of our newer sponsors, Zach Williams. He has a band that tours all over the country, the Zach Williams Band, and it's really exciting to talk to him and see what kind of new music he's bringing up a little bit. And then we're going to have the great Keith Kinder, the head football coach at Mishawaka High School, coming in here around 7. He is doing Paul Condry's show at 6:30, or I'm sorry, at 6 o'clock.
Busy man.
Over at Beef O'Brady's, and then he's going to zip over here. You know, and when you talk about consistently good football, you always, and you look at the record of Keith Kinder and what he's done. He's been the head coach at Mishawaka for 9 years.
Yeah.
Which is it seems like a long time for me, because that was my second year of working as the basketball coach at Mishawaka High School. And Keith is amazing. So we'll have a chance to talk with him. His first opponent this year on the 21st of September will be Mishawaka Marion.
Mishawaka Marion, that's right.
Where his protege offensive line coach, Big Cat Jojo Caldroni, took over the reins. And it'll be interesting to talk about Keith and talk about how that transition happens when you lose an assistant and then when you got to play against them,
right,
opening game. I don't know about you, but when I played against or when I coached against either former assistant coaches or my friends or guys that I played college basketball with, or like yourself, I hated those games. And I'll tell you why I hated them. Because every Saturday morning, I would look under the S's to see if South Bend Adams was on the left side of the ledger. Because I always wanted your team to win. I always wanted Dave McCullough's team to win at Noblesville. I always wanted Joey Bradburn's team to win at Yorktown. And when I had to go against them, it was tough for me until they threw the ball up. Once they threw the ball up, then it was just game on, right?
Just coach. Yep. Just coach.
But all the stuff beforehand and all of the feelings kind of beforehand, I really didn't like that. So that's a question that I'm going to pose to KK when he gets in here.
This will be kind of new for him. Is Joey one of his first assistants that's moved on? Has he had anybody else?
I don't know that.
I can't think of anybody off the top of my head for that. That's good. And it'd be interesting to see how many assistant coaches went with with Joy that left Mishawaka.
I don't think Big Cat took any Mishawaka assistant
got some of
coaches.
his guys that
He's got guys in the pipeline.
Sure.
That he knows. I mean, Mishawaka guys that have coached in that ICCL league and stuff for 100 years. And so I'm excited to talk about that game. So what's been happening with you? What have you done? Friday night dances.
Friday night dances, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Umpiring.
And I also had my talk down in Walkerton in July.
That's
on
right.
county basketball.
That county basketball historical thing. We talked about that in May.
I thought you were having a talk with the county prosecutor about you getting too many speeding tickets.
No.
That wasn't that?
No, that was not that one. No.
Here, let me ask you a totally different question. You travel quite a bit during the day. How is the weather over there on the northwest side of the state?
It's awful. It's awful. Trees have fallen on houses. Power's still out, and they're starting to slowly get back in Valparaiso. LaPorte County looks like a bomb was dropped there. I mean, parts of western LaPorte County are still awful.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The further west you get, the worse it is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was tornadoes. It was just straight line winds, 100 miles an hour
like hurricane
in that area.
Well, let's put it this way. Someone posted a video on 39 and 6 when the winds came through the other day, and it looked like
Well, there's nothing there to stop the wind.
There's nothing there to stop.
Were you driving during that deal?
Well, I got down to La Paz and I hunkered down at the McDonald's for an hour, and then when it all passed, and then
so I just drove by McDonald's. I don't know, yesterday. It said 2 Big Macs for $6. Did you eat like 4 Big Macs?
No,
$12.
No, it's not good for my health. There it is.
Well, no, our great producer, the great Scott King, made it in
cameo
South
appearance
Bend.
Straight off the airplane.
Okay, made it in South Bend for our first show.
I heard he parachuted in.
Straight in from DFW.
Yeah, no. So are you going to be doing that for the first Notre Dame home game? Good. You going to parachute in?
He's going to fly the plane for those guys that have the flags tied to their ankles.
Well, no. And speaking of that, the air show in Chicago, where the Blue Angels just put on a tremendous show, and they were talking about them flying over Wrigley Field when the Cubs are playing.
Yeah, right.
And the sonic sound and all of the audio. I mean, you can see the players kind of lifting their heads, saying what's going on here.
They hit you in the background. I think I can't remember if I've been there or not, but I've seen ball games where they've had the Blue Angels out behind the outfield, like they're out over the lake someplace.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question, Scott. How good of a pilot do you have to be to be in the Blue Angels? Very good. Obviously, because you can't nip the top of somebody's head flying over Wrigley Field or something, man. Ooh, that's amazing.
Hot take. The Thunderbirds are better.
Okay, all right, good. The Thunderbirds, good. No, this is just great knowledge that we have here. Listen, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this show, I do kind of want to go over our guests again. I know we have commercials, but our sponsors are amazing. They get us through this. They allow us to do this. And again, Ben Harbor, Harbor Financial, is with us again and just does a tremendous job. Tony Letcher, Health Markets. I think Tony's been with us for every show we've ever done.
Right.
And he's amazing.
He has an ad at the airport.
Pat, he's got ads everywhere.
You see his picture at the airport when you come in, don't you?
I got some good news for you boys. I got some great news for you. He is good. So he does a commercial for the Chicago Bears.
Right. Oh, okay.
So he came to me the other day. He said, "Heck," he said, "You want to be in the commercial for the Chicago Bears?" I said, "Abso-freaking-lutely."
I guess so.
Absolutely, I want to be in that commercial. The great Pat Hahn at Hahn Funeral Homes. We picked up a new sponsor, the Savory Colonel, just gourmet popcorn coming out of everywhere. The great Dave Hoffman.
Like about 100 different flavors, right?
100 different flavors. And as we get into it, I'll name some of those flavors, but it's just great. It's near the Target Supercenter. Obviously, our music, again, will be the Black Sedan Band. one of my former teammates, Dennis Jordan, has always been one of our sponsors, but he opts not to have a commercial. And then we picked up Zach Williams from Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic in Granger also. So our list of sponsors is amazing. They're all great people. They think we're a little goofy, but not too goofy. And they enjoy our show. So I want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. As a matter of fact, we're going to have Zach Williams in here live. Zach, why don't you make your way over here, and we'll talk to Zach live here, and he can kind of present his chiropractic clinic and tell you all about it. And what kind of summer did you have, Pat?
I played golf. Yeah, Scott checking there, the handhelds in there. So Memorial Day weekend, I was in Fort Worth. I worked at the Colonial. Had a blast. Fourth year for that. Had a good time down there. Month of June, just played a lot of golf. We made a couple trips to Florida, made a couple trips to Texas to see the grandkids. And other than that, just been playing golf. So I played in the Metro here in South Bend
How'd you do?
months ago. I got stuck in the A flight. I was obviously the oldest one in there, playing with all those guys that are 20s and 30s.
Didn't a 14-year-old girl win the ladies tournament?
Yeah, the ladies. Yeah,
wouldn't that have been something if a 14-year-old kid beat you in the men's?
Well, I
would have been on you for months and months.
That could happen.
The young golfers here in South Bend, good.
Yeah, they're not bad. The girls, and I think a lot of. I don't know all the details about the girls. Now, the people that won the championship flight of the Metro was a former Fairfield player that had played college golf, and he was 25 or so.
Really?
He's pretty good. He was 5 under for 4 days.
So tell our listeners about the pressure of maybe playing in that.
You know what's different about that? It's just fun to compete like we used to, but for golfers, they'll understand this. You've got to putt out. Yeah, there's no gimmies.
There's no GOC.
There's no gimmies.
There's no good on the card.
Yeah, there's no gimmies, and they and you've got to play it down. You can't roll the ball. So I know a couple of times I was and by the way, El Bell and Erskine are in great shape right now.
Yeah, I played El Bell a couple of weeks ago.
They're fantastic shape for 2 public courses. They are. They're very good. They've done very well here, keeping those up here and all the weather that we've had here throughout June and July. But a couple times in the fairway, rolled in a divot. So just normally you roll it out and hit it, right?
So answer me this question.
You got to play it out of that divot.
If there's nobody there, if like you're on one side, your partner's sitting in the woods over there, blah blah blah. There's nobody there. You can't use a little foot wedge action.
No.
You can do anything once.
Yeah, seriously.
You just don't. That's just part of golf. You just don't.
That's why I'm not any good at golf.
You just don't. Well, here, let's talk to Zach for a little bit.
We are, and Zach is going to tell us in a few minutes also about a great golf tournament. But Zach Williams of Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic from Elkhart Christian High School, right?
That's right.
Athletic.
At one point in time.
You still look good, man.
Sitting between 2 basketball coaches. I when able to, I still play basketball a couple of times a week. I mentioned the name to you, Joe Beard.
Joe Beard, right? One of my former players. Scott's same age.
I know Joe.
Shout out Joe.
Yep.
Joe's a good hooper. Good dude. And so anyways, when I'm able to, when the chiropractic shoulders are allowing me to play, I play a little bit. So I figured I'd drop that basketball.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
and Joe. Speaking of Joe, he was in that really bad motorcycle accident. It's probably been 10 years ago now, but he really messed him up. So he's done a great job of getting back into shape.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. So you graduated from high school. What college did you go to?
I went to IUSB and I went to IUPUI back when it was IUPUI.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think it's PUI or whatever.
I
Yeah.
do Indy.
Oh,
That's what it is.
that's right.
What's called.
So that's not too long ago. That's just been the change here in the last year or two.
So is that where you went to chiropractic school?
Chiropractic school in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
It's called Life University in Atlanta. So I was down there for a few years, and then moved back here once I graduated.
Did you meet 2 Chainz?
I saw 2 Chainz at a restaurant
Who the hell is 2 Chainz?
Rapper.
on a Sunday afternoon at Twin Peaks.
Oh, Twin Peaks.
He wasn't at Magic City on a Monday?
Buckhead. It was in Buckhead.
All right, let me ask you this question. Obviously, I mean, you're sitting between 2 guys that taught PE, and we loved athletics, but we went to college. We got PE degrees, right? You're smart. I mean, you're in the medical profession. You're smart. What made you think about chiropractor school as opposed to any other type of medicine that you might have gone into?
So I always say that I didn't choose chiropractic. Chiropractic chose me. I had a head injury when I was 13. It was on Lake Wawasee, and I dove off of a boat to catch a football. Friend of the family was
And you see that all the time, right?
right. So I use my T-Rex arms. I bring it in. I go down on my head. I can't move, and I'm paralyzed underwater at Lake Wawasee on the sandbar. And my dad, the late, the great Phil Williams, jumped off the boat, got me out of the water. I'm like, Dad, dude, I can't move my arms or my legs. And so he's freaking out. I'm freaking out. An hour goes by. I start to move my fingers and my toes. It was a really bad stinger, right? And so anyways, this was Memorial Day weekend. And the following Tuesday, I see a chiropractor. And just how I felt, achy, not me, delusional, sore. That first adjustment, and as soon as it happened, the relief I got, that's when I knew that chiropractic is something that I want to do for a lifetime for sure.
That is really cool. I mean that's a great story because it obviously helped you to recover and bring your your motion and everything back to life a little bit, and then the feeling that you had of, hey man, this is what I want to do because I think this was really cool.
Yeah, and then I go to college, and at orientation, they go, hey, parents, by the way, your freshman kids are going to change their major 4 times on average. So relax.
Was that true?
It was nice knowing I was not going to change.
There you go.
It's what I chose. It's what I did. It's what I do, and I love it. So.
Yeah, so my dad was a dentist. Him and his twin brother were dentists in South Bend, and they were great. And I was going to be a dentist. So I go to Manchester. I'm playing basketball. Pat's a Butler guy, by the way. I go to Manchester and I'm playing basketball. Keyword playing basketball.
Yes, I sat and
trying to go for a double 100 times, and I'm going to go into pre-dental. I'm in pre-dental because I'm going to take over my dad's stuff, right?
Sure.
My dad's like, hey man, none of your other brothers want to do it. Let's talk about this. So I'm in pre-dental. I take, 3 or 4 courses. My sophomore year, I'm in like and I got no idea. Why in pre-dental you got to take like calculus 9. Got no idea. Who gives a shit about if you know what a square root of whatever is? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that has to do with your
calculus.
teeth. With your teeth. I don't know. I could not pass. I could not pass it. I took it twice. I had wonderful tutors, and they were really good looking, by the way, trying to help me pass it, but I couldn't get it. So I remember that fateful day sitting in the counselor's office and just being stunned when the counselor said, you got to change. You got to change, man. You can't do this. I said, what? She goes, you got to change. So what can you do? I said, well, I can hoop.
Yeah.
She said, are you good enough to make a living at it? I said, absolutely not. I'm not sure the rec leagues pay that much anymore.
Yeah, right.
But she said, well, what about coaching and teaching? So that's how I ended up, where I'm at. I don't know. I mean, were you straight up going into education coaching? Was that what you always wanted to do?
No, I was in the business world for maybe 2-3 semesters. And I had a similar situation with the like 200 level accounting classes. I was passing, but it was below a C. And I just went in and tried to negotiate, said, look, if you just give me a C, you'll never see me again. To the professor. Wouldn't happen. So anyways, I struggled through, got a C-, went in and changed my major to education that
Okay, so here's my next question about it.
I gave him the 3 steps toward the door story, and it didn't go.
All those South Bend girls that were in sorority houses in Butler at the time, they didn't offer to help you out. The great Pat King, quarterback on the football team.
They didn't know who I was.
Come on, man.
They didn't know who I was. Although I do remember there were a couple.
You remember who they were?
Yeah, there were a couple.
Yeah.
Well,
So
my little sister was from LaPorte. My sorority little sister, Fred Lake's.
no. So Lori Fredlake is from South Bend. She went to St. Joe High School. She had a family that had like 11 children in it.
I
and
know,
they all went. Her husband is from LaPorte.
I got some names for you.
Larry Lubes.
She was my little sister, but the year before that was Lynn Schreiber, whose dad was a baseball coach.
Man, I'll bet that was rough.
How's that?
She probably threw fastballs at you, right?
So those are my 2 little sisters in college, fraternity sorority
And
stuff.
we
they set up.
digress talking
How's that?
about us. We digress
Now,
talking
how
about
would
us.
I remember those 2 names?
But anyway, so that had to be comforting knowing that that's what you were going to do.
For sure. Definitely. Yeah. Clarity, there's a lot of value in clarity. And so knowing what I wanted to do and then having the end picture in mind, being able to experience. I interned before I went to chiropractic school. I got to see the just the fun of putting your hands on people and them getting better. It made it doable for me to get through school because I am not an intellectual. I am more like you guys. I'm in the right spot right now.
There's common
So
sense.
I don't want to falsely portray.
I don't know
something
about that, Kenny Peterson.
Um,
He said he's not an intellectual being a chiropractor. He's like us.
so
You're not like us, 2 slaps.
my first advisor at IUSB, I was a biology major, taking 12 credit hours a semester. Thank you. And it's tough. Biology major is tough.
I was going to say that's not a lot.
It's a small amount.
Yeah.
It's the smallest amount.
Yeah, and still be considered full time.
Boom.
Yep.
This guy's good.
Yeah.
Guy knows what he's
He's
talking about.
a freaking pilot. I mean, you want to talk about someone who's intelligent.
And he just,
The headphones fit him then. That makes a lot more sense.
He
now.
just finished his MBA here a lot recently too.
I have to
Yeah.
extend my headphones all the way because my head's so big.
Hey,
Yeah.
good.
Gee.
Yeah. So then how did you settle? I mean, were you always going to come back to South Bend and do this?
Yeah. So what I was saying, my advisor at IUSB said, "Hey Zach, you're getting C's in your classes. You're not smart enough to be a doctor, so choose a different path. You'll figure something else out. But this is not for you." I was like, "Thank you so much. I will never see you again. I'm getting an advisor." So
yeah, really tried to help you through your crisis.
thank you so
right?
much. My
Bail.
freshman year advisor.
That's
Welcome to the show.
and that's what happened to me in baseball. I got hit one time in Little League, and then
Said that's enough.
no, and then it was bail and wail.
Oh, geez.
Step out of the box,
Step in the
close my
bucket.
eyes, and just in case you hit it, man,
Yeah.
come on.
Swing hard in case you hit it.
And so then, I mean, your plan all along was to come back to South Bend.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a hometown kid. I born and raised in South Bend, South Side. I grew up in Osceola on the water, on the river, and my goal was always to come back here. Atlanta was a lot of fun. Had a good time, but I always knew this is where I was called to be. And so now, kind of where I'm at, it's really cool just because of my location, and the patients that have followed me, the patients I've gotten. It's a very, you guys will see. It's a very sports oriented hometown clinic, from the wall art to how we operate. So hometown kid, I'm super grateful and glad to be back here in South Bend Granger area.
Yeah, that's really cool. And studying the spine and studying movements and all that, I think is really cool. But talk about ankylosing spondylitis, because I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago,
How did you pronounce that?
ankylosing spondylitis, man. I know my stuff.
Pretty good. You can't.
I know my
spell it.
truth.
You can't
No,
spell it.
hell no, I can't spell it, but I know how it sounds. But I'm having some back pain. I take a normal blood test. I test positive for the enzyme. What is it? ELB,
HLA-B27.
HLA-B27. I test positive for that.
Okay, you guys are.
And ankylosing spondylitis. Talk about that. Tell our listeners what that is.
Well, so like I told you on our first phone call, 10 years of practice this December, and I've had 2 patients with AS. my dad, and my little brother.
Wow.
And you're the third one.
Wow.
And now I can tell you this. My dad had no range of motion. 0. My brother, he's working on avoiding that from fusing. He's 28, getting diagnosed with this. So the fact that you're diagnosed at that late in life and this mobile is, you're unique. You're an exception to the rule on a medical standpoint.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I'm really, really cognizant about is staying straight and laying down on my back, and maybe when I'm at the Planet Fitness, a little promotion of our club, which I haven't seen you there lately, Mr. King. Planet Fitness.
Can't fool you.
Hey, no free ads.
No, I used to like if I'm gonna curl, I have my back against the wall and I straighten myself at any point in time that I can, because I know it's vertebrae fusing together, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the crux of it.
The soft tissue attacks the hard tissue, and it fuses. Called bamboo spine. So what happens is on an X-ray, your spine's able to be seen. Soft tissue, not so much. But with AS, it all fuses. And so the fact that yours hasn't at your age, in the world of medicine and AS, you are an exception to the rule.
Well, and when you talk about that,
I could have told you that.
And we talk about that also is that I'm a 30-year liver transplant survivor.
Maybe that's the liver part. You got a new liver.
Yeah, no, that's you could be 100% right. I don't know, but all I know is that. Well, I am.
That's why.
Your liver's probably like 45 or 50 years old by now.
Well, I got it.
19.
It was 21 when I got it. It's 51 now.
Okay, there you go.
51. But anyway, I think. I mean, it's wonderful. It's wonderful that you have decided to join the show. Joe Matiga reached out to us and said, hey, give Zach a call. He would be someone that would really be great. Johnny Overmeyer from Broadcast Sport. You did some work for him, so you have an understanding of what it's like to be in the seat. And our show is really cool. 38 weeks out of the year we do this, and we have a lot of fun with it. So I want to welcome you and say thank you so much. And we will have you on when you need to get out of the crib. All right. Your wife's not listening, is she?
She's watching live.
Oh, good. Hey, how are you? About every couple of weeks or so, we have our sponsors on. So Zach will have to be in.
We got it on a 7-minute or 7-second delay.
Yeah, nobody ever watches the show anyway. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Scott will take care of it.
All right, hey, listen.
You can find my plane anytime, dude.
We are going to take a commercial break here and get the great Keith Kinder on set. And again, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Cool.
Quick break to get a word from our sponsors. Han Funeral Homes, located at 505 West 8th Street in Mishawaka, continues a proud tradition built on one promise: a family serving families. With deep roots in the community, Han Funeral Homes offers traditional burial, cremation services, and now pet cremation options, providing compassionate care for every member of the family. Families in Mishawaka have long trusted Hans to guide them with dignity, understanding, and personal attention through life's most difficult moments. For more information, visit them online at hanfuneralhomes.com or call 574-255-1474. Han Funeral Homes, a family serving families. Are you thinking about retirement? I'm not, but the Harbor Group Planned Wealth helps you answer the big questions like when to draw Social Security, how to manage investment risk, and what health insurance might cost. Wondering if you can earn part-time income after 62 without losing benefits, or if retiring could actually feel like getting a raise. They've got answers and a plan to guide you. Call VP Jessica Rhodes at 765-393-1074 or email jessica@harborgroup.com or visit harborgroup.com. That's Harbor harborber.com. Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic in Granger is a family-focused practice dedicated to helping patients of all ages, from newborns to pro athletes like LaFonso Ellis, and everyone in between. They offer high-level chiropractic care, including digital X-ray diagnostics, physiotherapy, and non-surgical spine decompression. To learn more, Google Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic, visit them at 6910 North Main Street, Suite 5 in Granger, or email info@drzachwilliams.com, or you can call 574-271-1111. Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic, care for the whole family. Are you craving something delicious? Aren't we always? Savory Kernel Popcorn offers over 100 incredible popcorn flavors plus a brand new flavor of the week. Right now, you can grab a small bag that's a 6 full cups of their featured flavor for just $5, even on specialty creations. It's the perfect way to try something new at a great discount. This week's featured flavor is jalapeno cheddar. Sounds pretty good. Stop by and see them at 109 East University Drive in Granger, right in the same shopping plaza as Super Target and across from my favorite store in the world, Menards, or call 574-404-6233.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Ledger today to schedule your free consultation or visit tledger.com.
Back to Coach's Corner in just 1 second. One final word from our OG supporters, the Black Sedan Band. It's not a conflict of interest at all that the drummer is Heck's brother. No, no, no. They're great. They've been great. They're going to stay great. If you want, they do travel, even though they're headquartered in Birmingham, Alabama. They do travel. So if you want a great cover band, you can go to blacksedanband.com or check out their YouTube channel after you're done watching us. Now, back to Heck and King.
Wow. All these sponsors are amazing. And then we end it with the Black Sedan Band. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we've got enough. Now I had a chance to run across the street and say hello to somebody, come back and didn't know it.
Well, no. You can take your bathroom break. You take one every freaking 3 minutes, right? You can take your bathroom break now when we do commercials.
Showing my age.
Hey, so I think every show or every time we do a savory kernel popcorn ad, I'm going to go and do 5 flavors that they have. And this is popcorn: green apple popcorn, lemon popcorn, toffee popcorn. I would never have that. Watermelon popcorn for sure. My brother Booty. And obviously I'm a Catholic and you're a Catholic and the whole thing. Everybody's a Catholic. And so Lent comes and my brother Booty, every Lent, hey Booty, what are you giving up for Lent? I'm giving up watermelon. I said, Booty, it's freaking March. Nobody eats watermelon. He said, that's what I'm giving up, man.
He was a pretty smart guy.
And then
I always give up fruits and vegetables.
And then number 5.
I never eat them to begin with.
Yeah.
Then number 5 is chocolate banana. Chocolate banana. You gotta grab a bag for the kids, man.
Oh man, none of those sound good.
No, your two little kids are so cool. I see them on Facebook all the time.
Yeah.
So we have the great Keith Kinder, the head football coach at Mishawaka High School, and when I say this, it's your 9th year.
It is.
And I remember when you took over for Bart Curtis, my first year of coaching basketball at the great Mishawaka High School was Bart's last year. And then Bart moves on to Warsaw and Keith comes in and gets the job. Now you're going on 9 years already, man.
Isn't that crazy?
No, it is. It is crazy. And the amount of success that you've had is, that's not crazy. That's just, the consistency and your program speaks for itself. In 8 years, you're 75-23. You've won, 5 or 6 sectionals, a couple of regionals, been in the semi-state a couple times. At least in one of those semi-state games, you were close, and maybe a possession or 2 from going to the state finals,
that was
right?
a last-minute field goal, wasn't it?
Well, that was the regional against Snyder.
Okay.
They made a walk-off field goal.
Yeah, why are you bringing up bad memories?
Yeah.
No, I think these are great memories because these were great games.
They were, but
Snyder won the state that year too, didn't they?
They did. Yeah. I think you can probably attest to this. It's the 23 that stick with you, not the 75, right? I could probably tell you the opponent in order. I'd probably get pretty dang close to the score in all 23.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to mention, you mentioned year 9. I got the job and we had the press conference, and I don't even know that you and I had spent that much time together yet. But you drove over to central office and you sat in central office for the press conference, and that's something that's always stuck with me. I think that the most successful athletic programs are programs where coaches support each other. Not just in the sharing of athletes and that sort of thing, but like you were at every one of our football games. I tried like crazy to make it to as many basketball games as possible. And I think you and I kind of formed a special friendship from that moment where I could see that you were really invested in my success.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. I grew up obviously in a football family with my brother Mike being the head football coach at Mishawaka, Maryland, and winning 3 state championships. When I was a senior in high school and a couple years in college, and one of the great things that did for me my senior year is I could hang with the cheerleaders at St. Joe that I was really friends with, and then through Mick, just by saying, "Hey, my brother's the head coach, I can hang with the Marion cheerleaders, man." That was a blast. And then the guy to our right here is a football guy from Texas. Yep. I mean, I don't know if you know that he was from Plano, Texas, and coaching football in Friday Night Lights, right?
Yep. I was all part of it, and at that time period. In the 80s, it was Houston veer, inside, outside veer, and wishbone.
Yep.
So when I come back up here and see people running different variations of the wishbone, going, okay, I can relate to this. I totally understand how all this works, getting the strap out and running your lines and your pitch drills and everything else that goes with it.
And you're a North Miami.
That's right.
Guy,
I came up here and was at North Miami, and what they do, what they run.
Flexbone.
Yep.
So it's kind of a cult. Flexbone.
I totally understand.
We've
between Bob Bridge, Elmer Britton, and you can go on and on.
Mark Lefevre, who I coached for at Southern Wells.
I know Beeve.
So we get a lot of crap now because we've started to try to modernize it a little bit with lots of motions and different formations and adding some wrinkles to it to try to make ourselves tougher to defend. And we catch a lot of grief about it all the time now.
Is Sauceman going to run that down at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
See,
I've talked to him a little bit.
I know Sauceman too.
Yeah. So it's it was. In fact, when I got into coaching, I was an assistant baseball coach at Adams, and you were the head basketball coach at the time. And then I stumbled upon becoming a football assistant for Bart at Mishawaka. Started at John Young. I was I was a study hall aide. And then I fell in love with the offense. It was my first football experience, so it was the first offense I learned. And I found out late that year that there wasn't going to be an English teaching job for me. And so there used to be a Department of Education job bank, and I got on the Indiana Department of Job Bank and looked for English jobs, and I cross-referenced that with Flexbone schools, and I ended up at Southern Wells, a small, where the whole corporation is in one building.
Yeah. So let me ask you about Southern Wells. Was your superintendent Jimmy Craig?
No, he was. Yes, he was.
Jimmy Craig,
Muncie, Ball State guy. He's an awesome guy.
Well, and my first head coaching job at Wapahani, Jimmy Craig was the state champion band director and also the assistant principal.
Yeah.
Story about Jimmy Craig is it's a one-story gym, but I don't know. It might be like 15 feet up. He used to go on top of the gym and watch the band, the formation, and all that. He was crazy, by the way. Mm-hmm. He was pissed one day that someone was out of formation. He jumped off the freaking roof of the gym to make his point.
To get
now,
down
obviously, he hurts his leg, but he pops up, and we don't show any injuries, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, but I know he was a superintendent.
Yes, he was a really good guy, very supportive. And Southern Wells was such a wonderful experience. The Raider Dome. Did you ever go into the Raider Dome? It was such a cool gym. And I coached. I was a football assistant. I was a JV basketball coach. I was the head baseball coach for 2 years. I did all 3 sports for 2 years. Yeah, and it was so much fun. I bawled my eyes out when I left.
So how did you matriculate to Mishawaka?
How did I get back?
Yeah, that's what. So sometimes I use big words.
Yeah,
and I think the word matriculate
is like ending up there.
Matriculate means when you come back, right?
So I got back after my first full year at Southern Wells. We're in two-a-days at Southern Wells. So I'm going into year 2 there, and I get a call from Bart that they have an English job open, and I said, okay, let me think about it. I think about it for like 24 hours. I call him back and I was like, man, we've already started practice. I cannot leave these kids I have to pass. As much as I want back at Mishawaka, I got to pass. So I passed. 1 calendar year later, I get a call from Greg Hicksonball, who was the director of human resources at Mishawaka at the time. And he said, "Hey, Keith, I mean, we're going into week 2 of 2-a-days again at Southern Wells in year 2." And he said, "We got a teaching opening at Mishawaka. If you tell me no this time, I don't make another call to you." And I said, "Okay, I'll be there tomorrow."
That is great.
I was there. And so every year, I mean, like maybe not every year, but at least 4 or 5 times on the evening of our first football game, I'll send Greg a text and say, "Thank you for that phone call, and thank you for putting the screws to me," because I don't know if I would have been able to pull that, make that decision again. Because like I said, when I went to Southern Wells and had the interview and they offered me the job, Mark Lefevre, who was the head football coach, met me there. I needed a place to live. I got offered the job. I accepted. I needed a place to live, and he drove me around to places to live. And the first 3 houses we looked at, they had goats in the backyard, and I was like, "Man, like this ain't for me. Like I can't do this. Like, you got to get me to like the closest civilization possible." So I ended up living in Bluffton, but I would drive to Fort Wayne just to see people.
Yeah,
right.
And so, like, I remember telling Lefevre, like, I don't think I'm going to meet my wife here. I got to get back home. I want to get my life started. And sure enough, December of that year, I met Kristen, and kind of the rest is history.
Yes, I mean, so you are a Jimtown kid, right? I mean, you played football at Jimtown.
Yeah.
I was, and I don't know why this magazine was in the basketball office, but there was like a football magazine that someone put together, and you were a senior in high school, and your picture was in the magazine.
Yeah,
and you were a quarterback at Jimtown, right?
Yeah.
Played for the great Bill Sharp?
I did, yeah.
Oh, I mean, Sharpie's
he's
amazing.
The best, man. He's the best.
He is amazing.
Yeah, he's the best.
And did you play in college anywhere? Did you?
I went to Tri-State, now Trine, for a football season. I got redshirted. I believe at the time I thought I was way better than I was, and I had a really big dose of reality, and then just kind of decided it wasn't for me, and I just wanted to get my education out of the way. So I went to IUPUI and spent a few years down there. Graduated with a degree in English. Didn't even have a teaching license. A guy who has a degree in English. And I worked at the Elkhart Truth as a sports writer for
that's amazing.
3 or 4 years.
What do you do with that?
Right, yeah. And then
one of those degrees that now what?
Yeah, and then once I turned 25 or whatever, and you can't be on your parents' insurance any longer, and the truth
26, by the way,
is it whatever?
26.
And the truth is like, yeah, well, we don't have positions for you where we can offer you insurance. It's like, well, I better figure out what I'm going to do. So I worked at an RV manufacturer, and went back to school and got my transition to teaching license through Bethel, and that's how I got into it.
Yeah, that's a really cool story. Really story. I mean, it's a story of perseverance. And I and off the air a little bit before we came back from the commercials, we talked about your coaching staff, and I have always marveled at your coaching staff and the guys that you've put together, and they stay with you. The infrastructure, and I've told you this 100 times, the infrastructure to your program is unlike any that I've seen. And I mean, from the comfort level of you saying, you guys go coach this up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll walk around, I'll walk over here, I'll walk over here, I'll walk over here.
Yeah.
And I'm the CEO of this whole thing, but your coaching staff is amazing. Talk about some of those guys.
Yeah, we're really blessed. This is my 18th year being invested in Mishawaka football in some capacity. We've got Mike Buckman, who's been an offensive line coach for like 30 years at Mishawaka. Matt Lewinsky, our defensive coordinator, is in year 19 coaching football in our program. Kyle Shaw's in year 18. JD Chase, we just got back coaching O-line. It's like our 15th year coaching together. Steve Sheltraw has been around for 30 years. He's now our head freshman coach. And then in an interesting kind of development, we've got those guys that are all back after this many years. And then, we had some staff attrition for a number of different reasons in the off season, and we've added 5 new faces that are young, energetic, tons of passion, really cool. Great attention to detail. several former players that have played for us and are now giving back. And so like when you add that blend of guys that have done it for a long time, and then you couple that with young guys who are energetic and can connect with young kids. I mean, our players don't even want to talk to us anymore. They want to talk to the young, cool guys now.
Sure.
And that's really, really fun to see kind of develop. So it's been a lot of fun this off season. You know, change is inevitable. And sometimes it can be a bad thing. Sometimes it can be a good thing. I think the change, even though at the time when people tell you they're leaving, it's sad. It's been great for us. And it's been the breath of fresh air I think our program has needed.
Yeah, I think that's really critical. You know, when you stay at some place for a long time, and one of those young players that you brought back to coach is the great Justin Fisher.
Yeah.
And when the great Justin Fisher, who's been with Marcus Freeman and who's just been around major college football and major players, when he speaks to a kid, that kid listens.
Well, it's instant credibility, right? And you need credibility now when you're talking to kids. They want to know, you know, why are you telling me to do it this way?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you look at this guy that is not even a year removed from one of the top 5 football programs in America, you listen. And the one thing about Justin is he's not arrogant. He doesn't talk about himself in that way. He shows up, he coaches his tail off. He's got great attention to detail. He's a high level thinker. And you can tell that Mishawaka football is important to him. And so it's awesome that he's been willing to give back to the program that I think he would tell you helped shape who he is.
I saw Justin last Sunday out at the golf course. He was out hitting balls. Said, I got to get back to this. He explained to me he's working South Bend Orthopedics, doing artificial stuff. He said he's in surgeries.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, he works for Depew.
Yeah.
And is in the surgery room. And so that,
that's cool.
That's some pressure, man. Like if you don't give the doc the wrong piece, right?
Hey, Doc, I'm not really sure about this.
Yeah.
And furthermore, I thought it was his left arm, by the way.
He's doing shoulders and knees, he said.
Yep.
And
his right arm looks good.
Told me he does that, and then he heads for football.
Yep.
So we talked, for a little bit, just out hitting balls and stuff, and
that's really cool.
He can hit it.
No, if you look at Justin Fisher, he's a specimen.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And for him to be playing quarterback for you and have that understanding of how to run that and then the tradition of quarterbacks after him, Brady Fisher, and now you're dealing with Landon Snyder, a kid that has over 1,400 yards for you last year, over an almost an 8-yard average per attempt.
Mm-hmm.
He's your third-year starting quarterback.
Yeah.
You got to feel great. I mean, you and Kyle Shaw got to feel great about that.
Yeah, no doubt. And then you add Caden O'Neal to it.
Another 1,400 yards,
right? And
18 touchdowns.
Right. And so they both were starters as sophomores. So we have 5,400 career yards in our backfield returning this year. So I think there's obviously the potential. We're excited about what we've done offensively up to this point. We're trying to become a little bit more diverse in order to be able to get the ball on the perimeter a little bit more. We got exposed a little bit later in the year last year, not being able to get the ball on the edge. And so we've spent a lot of time in the offseason trying to figure out ways to get other people involved on the perimeter. But yeah, those two guys are going to, if the game's on the line, it's going to be one of those two guys.
No, it's got to be in their hands, and that's why Mike Buckman and J.D. Chase got to be your two best buddies because they coach the offensive line, right?
They do, and we've got Coley Rosenberg, who's our center, is started as a sophomore, so we've got a 3-year starter at center. Xander Nelson, an all-conference right tackle, is back. Manny Rodriguez, who is kind of last year was kind of like the utility offensive lineman, is going to start at left tackle. We got some newcomers at guard that I think are going to be have impressive years if they can stay healthy. So the big thing for us right now is I think we've got some really good talent. I don't think we have a ton of depth. So staying healthy, managing that in the practice and, balancing the getting better every day and not risking injury is going to be important for us.
Football, how we think about it. I mean, I played football when I was younger for a year or two. I know Pat was a great football player and then played it at Butler University. And football, how we thought about it, is not football today.
It's not.
I mean, we dressed out every day. We hit every day. We were in the drills every day, and the same with you. Now there's restrictions on what you can do in a week of practice. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, the big thing is, now that we're approaching game weeks is, you can have, 2 days where you're in full gear and can go technically live. Yeah. We don't even do that. We probably won't actually go live against our defense, offense against defense for the rest of the year. It's one of those things that's just not worth the risk. But the restrictions are in place for a good reason, I believe, for the health and safety of the players. But not to mention, I think the game has changed so much. The addition of strength and conditioning coaches in the majority of buildings have made kids faster, stronger, more physical. The game is more violent. On the sideline now, it's like, oh my goodness, I don't think I could have played in this era. You know what I mean? So, oh man, yeah, like everything is just faster and more physical. And so the restrictions are there for good reason. And, one of the things is, like I said, it's a big balancing act for us, probably for everyone, just making sure that you can put your kids, keep them healthy and put them in the best position to have a long season.
I'm glad you brought up strength, because that brings up, one of my really good friends and a guy that just did a wonderful job for you, Michael Surgeon.
Yeah.
Ran the weight room. Michael was a strength coach from the University of Tennessee, not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee State, but the University of Tennessee.
Go Vols.
I think he was in Mishawaka, 6 or 7 years?
8
years.
Seasons. Yep.
And trained your guys. I would go in there, and the intensity was amazing in that weight room, with the way those coaches and Michael got on those guys and pushed those guys. And it's a no-brainer as to why you guys were always in great shape, both from a physical standpoint and really an emotional standpoint, because they're used to getting pushed.
Yeah, they are. And I do believe that I can say this about our young men is you cannot present a challenge in front of them that they won't die trying to accomplish, right? We may not be the best every year. We may not be the most athletic, but he built that mindset in them that they were going to be pushed to the point where they felt they couldn't go anymore, and then they were going to keep going.
It reminded me, the times I've been in there, it reminded me more of a college type weight room compared to a fitness club weight room that I've seen at other high schools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So comparing the 2 or 3 schools that I've been subbing at, it's like night and day. It's drill sergeant, stuff like that. He's barking at them. He's cheering for them. He's challenging them, compared to other places where you have this time, turn the music on, and you don't hear anything.
And he really did help change the mindset and the mentality of our program. Not that I think Mishawaka football has always been known for being tough, hard-nosed, physical, but just that mindset that, like, hey, we're going to have to be willing to outwork people, because we're not going to have supreme talent every year. So we've got to be able to hang our hat on the fact that no one's going to outwork us. And that was the mindset that he always had. And like I said, I think he changed our program for the better. He's having, it sounds like, a heck of a time in Tennessee. And I'm sure he's making a huge impact with their program as well.
Talk about the new guy you brought in.
Yeah, so we brought in Charles Friday. He was the football strength coach for Kent State in Ohio.
Wow.
That's
another D1 guy.
Yeah.
Another college.
Yeah. And so when you talk about Justin, you talk about Coach Surgeon, you talk about Charles Friday, our new guy, it's instant credibility. Right.
100%.
And, strength and conditioning guys that I've met, are typically a little bit outside the mold. Right. But Charles is completely different than Coach Surgeon, and at the same time, exactly what we needed. I think it's just like one of those things again, where like when you hear from Coach Surgeon, hey, I'm leaving. He's the only strength coach I've ever had. I'm thinking to myself, like, well, who in the heck are we going to get to replace this guy? And how are we going to get someone similar? And then you find out that, number one, there are opportunities to get other people. And number two, it doesn't have to be the same guy. And the fact that it's not the same guy can broaden the horizons of our young people, our coaching staff. He's an on-field assistant for us. So he is with us every single day.
Wow.
He leads us in the warm-up. He leads us in the stretch. He keeps our practice organized and on time, and that wasn't something that we had with Coach Surgeon because he had different obligations in the building. I kind of got him a paid stipend so that he can be our guy on the field at all times, Monday through Friday.
I think that's amazing because it lets your players and almost see him in a different way too, because he knows football.
Yeah,
he knows football. He's out there. I mean, he's probably loud anyway, right?
Yeah.
He's loud. He's aggressive. He gets those guys in their stretching program, and I think that's amazing to be able to carry that over. And you lose Mike, and then you bring in somebody probably not as good as Mike, but different from Mike.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that you can compare.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't
exactly.
even try which one's better or that sort of thing. But like I said, like at the time, you may not want change, and then you realize, man, there's some things about this that we can make a real positive for our kids, for our staff, for our program. And Charles, I will tell you, is incredibly passionate.
That's really cool.
Sleeps, breathes this. He's an avid reader. He makes individual workout cards for each, not just player in our program, but each player in every program of the athletic department. And he does that weekly, and he updates it. And he is constantly evaluating you as an individual, not what you should do because you're a football player, but how can I make you better to make the team better, which I think has been really great for our kids.
Yeah, let's get to the nuts and bolts of this, man. September 21st, August 21st, Big Cat Joe Caldrone, who worked in your program for a number of years, he gets the head coaching job at Marion High School. Opening night at Marion, you're going against Big Cat.
Yeah.
I talked about this at the beginning of the show a little bit. I hated to go and coach against guys like Pat King, who were my friends, Dave McCullough at Noblesville was, my friend, and I hated going against him until the ball got thrown up. And then, and then it was coaching. But I'm sure it's an uncomfortable thing going against Big Cat, right?
Yeah, we haven't done it yet, so I'm not sure what it's going to be like. But the experience of I think between Bart and Craig at Concord, we've had to compete against people that are close personal friends of mine, and it doesn't change the fact that like you said, when the ball's kicked off, I don't think about our friendship. I think about how can we beat you. And really the focus for our kids right now has been every single day, what do we got to do to get ready to play? Because even in basketball, I'm sure before that first game, there's just a laundry list of things you have to cover. And so right now we're so focused on, okay, have we covered this enough? Like if a kick gets blocked, where's it live? Where's it not live? What can happen? All those things that we're trying to cover and teach our kids. We spent time today working on taking a safety and then punting from the -20, or fair catching to get a free kick in a scenario where it's the end of the half. We're trying to cover those things right now. And I think our kids are so focused on that. And I don't mean this as any disrespect to anybody over at Marion. We have not spoken about them one time.
So when will you start your preparation for them?
This weekend, yeah, we'll start talking about them. We're gonna meet and come up with a game plan on Sunday like we always do, and then get into the game plan and what we need or what we feel we need to give our kids the best chance to be successful. But again, we're not going to talk about Joe. We're not going to talk about anyone else that's associated with that program. We're going to talk about Marion as an opponent, just like we would anybody else.
So when you will go against Marion and go against Joe, Joe would be a guy that knows the inner workings of your program, both on the offensive side and the defensive side. And then from your standpoint, you got to say, I don't care what he knows. We just got to out execute and be better at what we do.
Right. And I think that's the thing. You could spend, too much time wondering, what will they do about this? What will they do about these signals?
The key is he may know, but he's over on the sideline. Those 11 kids out on the field, they don't know any more than they did last year.
Right. And so, ultimately,
I don't think that's true. I think Joe will coach their ass up during the week, man. Come on.
You know what I'm saying. Here, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Scrimmage tomorrow, Saturday. Who do you scrimmage?
We scrimmage McCutcheon. They're coming to our place, and we are when we have a mandatory head coaches meeting with the assistant commissioner Robert Falcons, and he told us kind of like the scrimmage formats of old that can be used, or you can write a proposal to me and I'll look at it and approve it. And so we wrote a proposal, and we're going to play one half of real football against McCutcheon. Special teams, correct timing, move the chains, all that stuff. And
quarterback
really,
can get hit.
Well, I'm gonna have a whistle on me. If we'll have a full crew, but I won't actually have a whistle. But
they know.
Yes, if I don't believe the
will he have a
quarterback will
different color jersey on like they do?
No,
like
we don't. We don't do that, but we protect him in other ways.
And they will do the same on the other side of the ball.
Yes, absolutely. So
you wrap the quarterback up.
Right.
You don't take him down.
And we'll kick the ball off, but we're not going to cover the kick. We're going to blow the whistle right after. The big thing for me is I think the one thing you're most concerned about is the operations of a game. And so, what we're trying to accomplish hopefully is like, hey guys, if you see that we're inside the 10 on offense and you're on PAT, that should alert your brain that I should mentally get ready to go on the field. And so I want to see that stuff to see what issues we have, and then we'll address them hopefully next week before we play and when it counts.
It's funny you mentioned that, because when I was coaching in Texas, my first job, I was a freshman coach. And instead of scouting, I went with the varsity on game night, and that was my job.
Yeah.
I was in charge of getting special teams ready. So I can still remember, hey, third and long, punt team, get ready. Walking up and down, because they platooned a lot of people running in and out. It wasn't the punt team might not be the same as the offensive line, stuff like that. That was my job, making sure everybody was there. We're counting to 11. Giving the head coach some sort of signal that here they are, and go, and then get out of the way.
The really frustrating, the number of times it happens is insane. But the really frustrating thing, you got a guy that's on offense, and he's on PAT, and he's on kickoff, and he forgets to go out for the kickoff. It's like, buddy, you got to watch football, right?
Just
we
stay
just
on the
scored.
field.
You just kicked the PAT. Why do we have to yell to find you?
Yeah.
And so those are the things that we're putting them through we're going to go through our team meeting in the building. We're going to go through our actual warm up, and the only thing we're not going to do is we're not going to go in the locker room beforehand and have a rah-rah. We're just going to go straight to it. So
All right, so here's a question I got to ask you. As the years have gone on, have you become more? Has your demeanor on the sideline become more calmer, or are you just as vocal and crazy as you were when you were a first-time head coach and trying to think that your attitude gets everybody else excited and all that kind of stuff, or have you mellowed out a little bit?
I've always tried my best, and I haven't succeeded every time, but I've always tried my best to have the emotions that I would want my kids to have at that time, right? So if something's going bad for us, I try really hard to be calm. If something goes great for us, I'm really excited. I
tried that too.
Well, you were fighting a losing battle.
I tried that, man.
Yeah.
I tried that for about 10 minutes one game. I said, I'm going to sit here and try and act like a normal human being and not act like a fool. And after 10 minutes, after 10 minutes, I said, forget this stuff, man. I got to be who I am.
I think the most important thing to me is I want our kids to see that I'm calm when things aren't going well.
Yeah, I think that's great.
But if we make a big play, I'll lose my headset celebrating. You know, I'm not afraid to celebrate great things, but I want to make sure that when things aren't great,
and
that
and your
if they're
team
looking
needs
at
you.
me, they can see that I'm focused and I'm calm and I feel like we've got this.
So people ask me all the time, they say, what do you miss about coaching? And I'm sure people ask you that all the time too. And the one thing that I always answer, because I think about it all the time, I think the coolest thing for me in coaching was, I don't know, there's 10 seconds left in the game, you call a timeout, and your team is expecting you to have a play for them. They're expecting you to tell them how to win this game, and there are 10 eyeballs that are shooting right through you. And to me, that was always a powerful feeling to know that I controlled how they were. Now, the play didn't always work.
Sure.
But that feeling of being there and knowing those 5 kids believed in you, I always thought that was a powerful feeling. And that's probably one of the things that I miss the most. What about you?
Well, I agree. And you know, you've seen times when you've been honest with people. Like I remember a game we had in Texas a long time ago. We started the game with an onside kick.
Yeah.
Because we knew the other team was good. And I told the kids, I said, look, you know, we have to get this and we have to go down and score, because you know kicking it onside to start the game is going to piss them off. So they're going to be bad as hell. So we need to make sure we get this. And, you know, we talk about who does this, you take this guy. And back then you could still go, you know, 2 guys go take the guy out and the other guy, the ball's laying there, you just pick it up and fall on it. So, we rehearsed it. We planned it. We did all that stuff in pregame on Thursday afternoon. And just remembering things like that where you're honest with the kids going, look, let's do this. Or you fake a field goal, you know, stuff like that, and say, okay, now again, we need to make this, because if we don't, we're in trouble. You know, stuff like that. So
Did you get the onside kick?
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
And did you score?
We did score.
Did you win?
No. Here's what they did.
No, somebody named Earl Campbell played for the other team, right?
Fourth and goal. They run a screen pass.
Oh yeah.
And walked it in, because we're up in there in a goal line, and they run a freaking screen pass.
That's amazing.
And just walked it in from like the 6.
You know,
That's
the thing for me is it makes you feel alive, right? Like there's
that's why we coach.
Like there's so many few moments in your life where you can really feel alive. Like the day that your wife is walking down the aisle towards you, witnessing your children being born. But like, what does everybody else do? Because like from 6 to 10 every Friday in the fall, I am freaking alive, right? There's parts about our job that sucks. There's parts that aren't fun. There's parts that people could say are miserable. But like, my goodness, from 6 to 10 on Friday nights in the fall, like there's nothing like it. And there's nothing better than winning.
Yeah, and
winning. There's just
and
nothing
when
better.
The winning.
And when you look at your record at 75-23, you've done that at a really good clip, and that's because of the things you do during the week. So the great Joey Heck is with the Indians / Huskies now.
That's right.
It's calling the offense, man.
I know. That's what I heard. Good for him. He's a great guy.
He's really enjoying it. And I mean, just the fact that he's not a head coach, but he can just focus on that one thing on that side of the ball. He really likes that.
Absolutely.
And he says St. Joe could be pretty good this year.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that they will be. I got some good players.
Yeah, so your facilities in Mishawaka are top notch now with the turf and everything, right?
Oh yeah, there's nothing. It really changed our program because the practice more than anything. Like our practice field behind the home side is not even a full. You can't fit a full regulation field on there, so we'd have to go like east and west on the practice field, which is only like 40 yards long. And I'm not exaggerating. Like we had kids run into the wrought iron fence during 7-on-7 because we didn't have enough space. And so like being able to be out there, our entire program is out there, like 9th graders are on the field practicing with us. I think that's been a big boost for our program. And so it really has changed what we've been able to do.
Yeah, I think it's great. And obviously, like I told Pat, and I would tell all my other guys that were coaching, if I'm not broadcasting the game, or if I'm not at the game on Saturday morning, I'm going down to the M's, and I'm looking on that left side of the win column, and I'm saying, come on, Mishawaka, be there, be there, be there. You've just done a great job. Your culture is amazing there.
Thank you.
And we want to wish you the best of luck. I will be doing that Marion Mishawaka game.
All right.
I'll be broadcasting that game. We'll be talking about the flexible and what everybody needs to stop and blah, blah, blah. Stop the dive, right?
You got to stop the dive.
You got to stop the dive. I mean, Chris Harnish.
Watch the option. But, when you hear the coaches
what
from
a surprise.
from across the field say, watch the option, we feel like we got a shot there.
You got him. But I think the cool thing is there are so many different ways to block the dive, right?
Yeah.
You can double, you can pull, you can do things. And so it's not that easy to say, stop the freaking dive.
No, it is a challenging thing to fit up for defenses, I think. Obviously, we, like I said, there are some teams that have figured it out better than others, and those are the teams that we're kind of focused on. How can we get better so that when we face those guys, we've got a better shot?
That's interesting because when
five passes a game, maybe.
Will we throw 5?
Yeah, 5 a game. Just to give it.
If things are going poorly, it'll be 5.
It'll be 5.
Yeah.
If things are going good,
things are going well, it's
it'll
0.
be none.
It'll be 0.
every time I sub for Buck, I turn over the sub plans and start putting X's and O's. I said, "Okay, here's how we did this in Plano. Here's how we did this." I'm drawing up combo defenses and stuff. Said, Here's how I'm going to stop your offense like that. I'm sure he's taking a red pen going, all right.
Yeah.
He gives him something to draw, gives him something to work on.
And so every time I sub for Buck, I'm thinking about how can this guy be the greatest freaking offensive line coach in America, and he's making pottery.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
what I'm thinking about.
We've got Buckman pottery as decoration in our house.
That is amazing to me.
Really, really good.
And Sargent was an art teacher as well.
Yep.
I mean, that's going out and finding guys to fit the teaching, and they're freaking great coaches, and they're making freaking jugs, man. I think it's amazing, actually. Hey, listen, man, I know you got stuff to do. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes of your time coming in.
Thanks for
talking Mishawaka football, one of the premier programs here in Northern Indiana, right?
No doubt.
Do you have time for a fast story?
Yeah, no.
It's the 5-year anniversary of something. I want to show you the picture in a second. But 5 years ago, to this day, we're at a scrimmage at our place. All right, we're scrimmaging Elkhart. It's Justin Fisher's senior year, and we're on the field for the scrimmage. And I look out and I see Kyle Shaw's daughter, and I see my son, and I see Matt Lewinsky's son, and they're running around in the field like it's their place, like they're the king of the castle. And I think this is what it's all about. This is just phenomenal. And I go back and I watch our stuff go again, and I look back up there again, and I see my son standing on the block M. He's got his pants around his ankles, and he is pissing off the block M. And Jenny Shaw, Kyle's wife, is running to him. And I call my wife from the sideline and say, Kristen, your son is peeing off the block M.
Oh, yes, he is.
Classic, man. We
4-year-old Cameron Kendall.
Yeah, I would ask you to put it on there, but I don't.
That's
because these are archived. Hey, remember 10 years ago when your dad was on?
Well, I told my wife, like, this is, how when the kids graduate, and they got the grad parties and the poster boards. This has got to be on the poster board, man. It just has to be.
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
And like a 8x12.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I was at Anderson at the Wigwam, of course, obviously, the Wigwam, Aaron, AKA Bugsy, was 4. And I would just be practicing, and I'd say, Aaron, go ahead, go do what you got, man. And he would, after practice every day, he'd say, Dad, I found another room in the Wigwam. He would be in every room, everything.
Get downstairs, all kinds of stuff down there.
And then we're playing a Banker's Life one time, just a normal regular season game. And Aaron says to Monica, he says, Mom, I'll be back. And Monica says, no, this is not
it's
the
not the
wigwam.
same.
This is banker's life. You're not going anywhere. But that's, the fact that your children now and your son is old enough to where he can come to practice.
And he's going to be a ball boy this year.
It's just, I mean, what a better, and that's what Scott did his whole life when his
Good
dad
times.
practiced.
Oh yeah,
times.
he made TV at like age 5 or 6. Channel 16 had got him on.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. It's a great thing with a family.
Yeah.
And especially you have to have a wife that is so cool and understand, because you're
she's the
gone
best.
all the time.
Yep. She's the best.
And they always talk about coaches' wives, right?
Oh sure,
And how cool they are.
we're lucky.
No, 100%. And especially football guys, because in football season, it's 24/7.
It is.
It is.
It is.
So get out of here and go spend some
All right,
time with your
appreciate you guys.
beautiful
Good to
wife,
see you.
man.
Nice
Good to
seeing
see
you.
you.
And always keep posting those pictures on Facebook,
Will
man.
do. Thanks.
Let us go to break here, and we'll come back and we'll finish this up.
Hey, another quick break to get some more words in from our sponsors. First up, the loss of a loved one can leave you with lots of unanswered questions and stress. Located at 505 West 8th Street in Mishawaka, Han Funeral Homes has built its reputation on one simple, timeless principle: family serving families. Whether you need traditional burial, comprehensive cremation services, or their new pet cremation options, their compassionate team is dedicated to supporting every member of your household. For generations, Mishawaka families have relied on Hans to walk alongside them with dignity and genuine care when it matters most. Discover more at hanfuneralhomes.com or reach out directly at 574-255-1474. Han Funeral Homes, a family serving families. Is retirement on your horizon? For me, still the answer is no. Navigating that transition comes with big questions, from choosing the right time to claim Social Security, to managing portfolio risk, to planning for healthcare costs. Want to know if you can take on part-time work after 62 without impacting your benefits, or even how retirement might feel like a pay raise. The team at Harbor Group Planned Wealth has the strategies to help you move forward with clarity. Contact VP Jessica Rhodes at 765-393-1074 or email Jessica at harborgroup.com, or you can visit their website, harborgroup.com, HARBER group.com. Looking for complete family-centered care under one roof? Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic in Granger welcomes patients of every stage of life, from newborn infants to elite athletes and everyone in between, even if you're mediocre like me. They deliver advanced chiropractic solutions, including digital x-ray diagnostics, personalized physiotherapy, and non-surgical spinal decompression. Search Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic online, Google, or your favorite search engine. Visit their office at 6910 North Main Street, Suite 5 in Granger, or send an email to info@drzackwilliams.com. You can also give them a call today at 574-271-1111. Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic, care for the whole family. Ready to upgrade your snack game? Duh. Savory Kernel features over 100 handcrafted popcorn flavors, along with an exciting new flavor of the week. You can pick up a small bag which packs a full 6 cups of the featured flavor for just $5, even on specialty recipes. It's the ultimate chance to explore new taste profiles at a bargain. This week's flavor is jalapeno cheddar. Yeah, it's jalapeno cheddar. I don't know why I paused. It's definitely jalapeno cheddar. Drop by their shop at 109 East University Drive in Granger, conveniently located in the same plaza as Super Target, and across the road from my favorite store ever, Menards, where you can also save big money there. Anyway, Savory Popcorn. You can call their store too at 574-404-6233.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Back again to Coach's Corner with Heck and King, another jam-packed segment coming up. And as always, shout out to the Black Sedan Band, who you are hearing right now accompanying my voice. They do travel, so if you're looking for a great cover band, look up their info at blacksedanband.com, and you can see all of their stuff on YouTube when you're done watching us. And side note, make sure to like this stream, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment. It really helps, and we definitely appreciate it. Now, back to Heck and King.
We are back at the great Corby's. Now, we've talked about everybody, our sponsors, but we haven't mentioned Joe Matiga and the Corby's Irish Pub. It's our second year of being here. I think it's an amazing venue. It's an amazing historic bar in South Bend, and Joe's wonderful for allowing us to have our show here.
And we're very, very grateful because this is the first time we've come back someplace.
Oh, no, we were at Bar Louie's
Yeah, you went
twice.
back
Were
to
we
Bar
at Bar
Louie.
Louie?
We're at Bar Louie's 2 years,
I
man.
beg your pardon.
Come on, man.
I was all set to tell us how happy I was
That's
that
why
we got invited back.
That's why in our new promo at the beginning, when we talk about our time at Dorbin's old tap house,
Yep.
that it was. I mean, that was pretty cool too because
It was
nobody
fun.
talked. Nobody had any teeth over there on the west side of South Bend. So
The goulash was the lunchtime goulash was
and
going.
now we've kind of found a niche here. But anyway, we want to thank
Pulled my pant
Keith
leg up for
Kinder,
you, too.
right
Yeah.
leg.
Right leg, sorry.
Yeah, right leg. I mean, I know how busy those coaches are, and come out here and spend a half hour chatting it up with us slaps. I mean, acting like I don't. I mean, I'm acting like I know football. You're a football coach,
Right.
But
you have football in your blood.
But it, like he mentioned, things have changed so much. Now the X's and O's and the terminology, it's the same stuff, but they've given everything new names.
Right.
Yeah,
They start talking about these things, and I'll sit there and go, "Oh yeah, I know what that is." The defenses or whatever they're talking about, combo blocks and things like that. I mean, we did. That's all we've done. But they give things new terminology, and it just sounds it's more modern.
I'd be curious to see what the verbiage of Ball State is for Shaq and their playbook, how it differed between their Washington, Eastern. And
Yeah, and that's the catch about having to learn all the different terminology. I know one of the things I had the biggest problem with when I went from high school to college, 50 years ago, was just the different terminology that I had to learn for play calling as a quarterback. I mean, that's what I spent a lot of time in coaching in the quarterback meetings, was just how to call plays in the huddle. As simple as that sounds, in high school we always had a snap count. Well, the way the college was, ours was always either on a clap or it was on go, and you didn't even say it. You just said pro right, flex, drive right, ready break. And I'd always go on one. Well, it wasn't on one; it was on go. It was assumed, and I always sit there and go. They'd go, dumbass, stuff like that. It took me, 2 or 3 practices to get out of that habit, but I spent a lot of time and I had to really concentrate because I'd grown up with the same offense since I was a little kid.
Yeah, but you got to remember, still that was 40 years ago too.
Well, I know.
That was 40
Well,
years
it's fun
ago.
to watch
and
John Gruden, and he has the quarterbacks. They talk about their claps and stuff like that, and he goes, "You clap for a snap count?" Yeah, and like I think it was Riley from Notre Dame was talking about how they would fake stuff. He would clap, and then he would say uno or dos, and then the lineman knew that it was on either the next clap or the second clap. He would call the snap count after he was doing all this fake stuff and audibles and whatever it might have been. I thought that was interesting.
Interesting.
I think it was Jackson Dart, I think is who you're thinking of with Gruden, where they were talking about the snap count, and Gruden goes, "That's it? Yeah, that's it."
So those college guys, it was so simple.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what wasn't simple in the offseason was the NBA life.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it has a life of its own, doesn't it?
The moving around of players, and starting with Jaylen Brown, averaging, 29, 30 a game for Boston. And so there had to be either they were running out of money in Boston because you got to pay Jason Tatum and you got to pay Jaylen Brown, or there was a coaching deal where his attitude wasn't cool. But to trade Jaylen Brown to the 76ers for what? A number one, and Paul George,
who's what,
Paul-
42 years old.
43 and playing on an artificial knee.
Paul George isn't that old.
No, he's not, but playing on an artificial knee.
But he was playing
Or
with the
ankle,
Pacers. He was
whatever.
playing for the Pacers back in the 90s, it seemed like.
But that showed you
Do you
how.
remember when Paul George snapped his tibia?
Yes.
For the was it an Olympic? It wasn't an Olympic game. It was like an Olympic warm up.
Yeah, but and at one point in time, Paul George was a really good player.
Yes.
But the Boston Celtics really had or wanted to, or there was a need to get rid of Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Because they didn't really they got a number one, but a number one from Philly is not that good because of how good Philly's going to be now.
Yeah, because this could be about a 20 or 25th pick.
Yeah,
So I pulled it up on Google. The Celtics traded Jaylen Brown to the Sixers for Paul George, 2 firsts in 28 and 31, and 2 twos in 28 and 30.
When's the last time a 2 stuck?
yeah, no. Well, in the G League,
Dennis Rodman.
in the G League, yeah, no, and there are some stories about twos, but
Here, Brownie
basically
Point. Where did Rodman go to college?
southeastern Oklahoma.
State.
Southeastern Oklahoma State.
Bingo.
I loved so
I
Rodman,
can hear Ray Clay saying it from Southeast Oklahoma State.
and he was a kook. His elevator didn't go to the top floor, but I tell you what it did do. He understood rebounding more than anybody. He understood what part of the rim the ball was going to hit and where the ball was going to go. He might have started out here when the shot was taken, then he moved over to here because he knew where the ball was rebounding.
He studied, missed the shot.
Who's trying to impress Carmen Electra.
And he did for a while. And you know what I say to him?
Good for him.
Good for. I don't care if you wore a wedding dress. I don't give a crap about that at all.
Best friends with Kim Jong-un.
Good. Yeah, really, I know. And then the LeBron James sweepstakes.
Oh, gee.
Now everybody.
Poor Jaylen Brown, though, because he goes to the Sixers thinking he might be the guy, and now he has to play second fiddle with LeBron.
Yeah, and I mean LeBron's still scoring 20 a game, but he's I don't know 42. But you look at that Philadelphia lineup now with Joel Embiid, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey. I mean, and now LeBron. That's going to be. I mean, he's done a good job his whole career of surrounding himself with good players, right?
Yes, he has.
Well, and with load management, he'll probably get a lot of minutes because some of those guys are only going to play
I was going to say
45
Joel
or 50
Embiid
games.
will probably play 30.
Yeah, LeBron will probably play
exactly.
LeBron probably won't play much in November and December.
And Embiid won't play. He'll play 2 games a week probably, and save him for the playoffs. But whatever, and everybody says this. Everybody says this. It really doesn't matter to me that much when people say, "Well, look at Larry Bird, look at Michael Jordan. They didn't go on a super team." Well, no, but they drafted a super team. Michael Jordan played with Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan played with Rodman. Michael Jordan played with Horace Grant.
Tony Kukoc.
Ron Harper.
Yeah, but and those names
They were role players,
but they weren't game-changing names.
no,
But they were
Steve
good players.
they
Craig
were
Armstrong.
they were a very good supporting cast.
Yeah, Bill Cartwright, Luke Longley.
Wellington.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Bobby Jetson.
They had what 5? They had.
Have you guys-
They each had five fouls, right?
Have you guys
13
seen
fouls.
have you guys seen the trend on the internet where people will go on flights and just take a notebook and spend the entire flight just randomly naming athletes? Be curious how well you guys would do, how many pages you'd fill up.
No, you're right. I could fill up a lot, and my
Like,
one.
just name. You guys just want to name some dudes?
They would be from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
I can tell you. I'll
shaking
tell
the
you
camera.
starting lineup. I'll tell you starting lineup for 65 Bears, and I'll tell you why I know this. I always tell you why. Because I did some research this summer, and you need to look into this.
Okay.
Okay. And you're as old as me.
Mm-hmm.
We get older, the brain starts to go a little bit. So I did some research. A teaspoonful of raw, unfiltered honey with a teaspoonful of cinnamon, mix it in a glass about that big of warm water. Take it every day before you eat your breakfast. Drink it every day.
And
And my memory, I I remembered my anniversary last night.
Was that? Well, I was going to say.
I took my wife to Brewster's.
By the way, yeah.
Took my wife to Brewster's.
How many is there?
And she said, Ron, she said, how did you remember? I said, the honey and the cinnamon. I'm just saying.
Does her seeing eye dog growl at you when you get close to her?
18 years. 18 years.
18 years.
But I can the defensive backfield for the 65 Bears, Benny McCray at cornerback, Davey Witzel at cornerback, Rosie Taylor and Richie Pettibone, the two safeties.
Okay.
I never knew that till I started drinking honey and cinnamon.
No, I wasn't paying much. Butkus was the middle linebacker. Who were the other two linebackers?
Joe Fortunato on one side, and Larry.
Where's Pettibone fitting that?
He's a safety.
Okay.
He was a safety.
Where's Obradovich?
And Obradovich was a defensive end, along with the great Doug Atkins.
He was a 7 technique.
Along with the great Doug Atkins. Rudy Bukich and Billy Wade were the quarterbacks. Rick Caceres was a running back. Yeah, I didn't know any of this till I started on my stuff. Woo. Now I'm just saying. And then Giannis traded to the Heat.
Okay.
From the Bucks. I mean, did the Bucks have to get rid of Giannis? Are they saying that they didn't win?
They didn't have enough money, I don't think.
I think it was time.
It was time.
I mean, they won a championship. I mean, that's pretty good for Milwaukee.
They just couldn't get enough people to come in there and around him.
The non-major markets are never going to beat the allegations of not being destinations.
Let's go.
Except for San Antonio because of the big old women.
Yeah.
Yeah, they eat churros.
And they eat churros. How do they eat them?
They just eat them.
Hey.
Yeah.
How about
Charles lost 45 pounds now.
Ozempic.
He lost 45 pounds. He was actually played a little bit better golf too, in that celebrity golf outing. Yeah.
Pacers.
I go with Pacers.
They got screwed over in the draft.
Yeah, but no, because they did get the big man. They got the big man, Ivan Zupac, who they think is good.
Yes.
They think he's good. But what about this NBA stuff or WNBA stuff? I mean, Sophia Cunningham gets mugged. And Stephanie White really doesn't have a good look at it at the time that it happened. And the Carrington girl played for her when she was the head coach at Connecticut. So when they interviewed Stephanie White after the game, she said, well, yeah, it was definitely a flagrant two. This Carrington lady, she plays really hard, blah, 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 blah. But once she saw the replay afterwards, then she saw how bad it was, grabbing around the neck and all that.
Yeah.
So the very next game, the Fever play in Indianapolis, and when they introduced Stephanie White as the head coach, she got a rousing.
They were booing,
just booing because of the comment that she made post game. The WNBA is out of control.
There's too much drama. Every time the Fever plays, something is going on either during the game or after the game, or both.
Here's my conspiracy, though.
Okay,
they like it.
I'm sure they do.
The league likes it.
The league loves it
because people are talking about it.
Yeah, they're talking about them
like us.
Yeah, but somebody.
And I watched the Sky game last night just for a few minutes, and the blonde-haired girl that did the mugging, she played. You know, they were talking about she needs to be suspended. She needs this.
Well, she played.
She played. Yep. She was in the game last night. I think she was like 1 for 9.
She did need to be suspended.
Well, she might. I mean,
she took Sophie Cunningham around the neck and took her down.
It reminded me of the old Kurt Rambis play.
Did Bill Lambier need to be suspended?
Probably.
100%.
That was back in the 80s.
Bill Lambert and Rick Mahorn. Those two guys
would kill each other.
Well, no, on the street they'd have been arrested.
Yeah.
On the street they would have been arrested. To be honest with you, it was amazing.
That was the 80s. That was the bad
a league
boys.
that hates its superstars more than the WNBA.
I know.
They self-destruct. You know, I'm really frustrated with it because, you know, they've got a chance. They've got a chance to be something. Are they making enough money? Here's a league that is it's been in the hole.
Never been profitable.
Yeah, millions of dollars in the hole. They've never made a profit. They're being subsidized by the NBA, and yet they still act like this.
Well, no, and they were on charter flights. Now Caitlin Clark comes in. The notoriety of the league, she elevates it.
Commercial flights now they're charter.
And she elevates it.
I remember having Elena Deladon on a flight one time because whatever team she was on, I was like,
I know her.
I know you.
And she was really pretty too.
And also 6'5".
Yeah. Yeah, she post you up.
Probably. I'm skinny now.
But I don't know. I don't know why.
I've been working out. Can't you tell?
I don't know why that they just don't take advantage of the fact that Caitlin Clark is a marketing magnet.
Their meal ticket, I think.
Yeah. But and then I'm not going to get into any kind of a racial deal with it, but I think there is a racial deal, and I don't know. I don't know why that is, or because she was such a big name coming out of Iowa, and I don't know if she thought she was going to come into the league and not get roughed up. Every rookie gets roughed up,
Right.
I mean, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen got decapitated by the Pistons back in the day.
Yeah, the Jordan rule. It's real.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what else is real. I don't know how the Texas Rangers are doing.
500. You haven't seen, it was either Jeff Passan or one of the other MLB writers. Over the last 5 years, the Rangers are exactly 500.
Is that right?
Wow.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're in second place.
Yeah, and Bruce Bochy had a great run there. He comes back. He wins the World Series. But now the Cubbies are on a little bit of a streak. They're 20 games over.
I also have a bone to pick with you in a minute.
Fire, go ahead. Is it about the Pope? Is it about the Pope wearing a White Sox hat?
No, did you see they had to sign a piece in between the innings last night?
I did.
Oh yeah, the other night at the Pope night at the Sox game,
which I think is a stupid thing that we do during Mass anyway. But that's me being a rad trad.
Oh, wishing each other peace.
Yeah, or doing this.
Yeah, I do that.
This stupid thing. Stop doing
I'll see somebody up in the front of church. I go, "Hey, man, peace," because I can't shake their hand.
Boomer.
But one of the things in the Catholic Church now that they've stopped doing, I don't know if you're a young Catholic that has gone into the church just recently, but they stopped holding hands during the Our Father.
Oh, really?
Correct.
Yeah, and I mean
that's a COVID
we
thing.
We always used to hold hands, and we're saying the Our Father, and I'm looking for Monica's hand, and she ain't putting it out there. And I'm going, I said, Monica, what's the story here? She said, well, we stopped holding hands.
Don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought holding hands was cool.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, but then when you say we got to get off this. But this is a sports show.
Isn't it kind of wild that the White Sox have been so bad recently, and now they're like good.
I think
like both teams in Chicago are doing very well this year.
Yeah, but you got to understand why.
The AL is not good.
Well, no, but they're still like 10 games over 500 for the first time in forever.
But they've been drafting number one or number two for 3 or 4 or 5 years. And
it's amazing what you can do when you have homegrown talent instead of just buying it out.
100%.
That's my bone to pick with you.
Yes.
Is when the Rangers won the World Series, you like excoriated me. You're like, the Rangers bought a World Series.
That's because what, Corey Seager?
Hello, sir. I would like you to introduce you to the Los Angeles Dodgers of the last 3 years.
Let's talk about it. The rich get richer. At the trading deadline,
But they suck right now.
Skubal is the number one trade chip, right? From the Detroit Tigers. The only reason the Tigers got to trade him is because they don't think they can sign him. So they trade him, and obviously the Dodgers got a great farm system. But his first start for the Dodgers, the Cubs beat him. His second start, he didn't pitch good, but they won the other night. But the rich get richer.
Well, and let's talk about rich was richer. Do you know who the best team in baseball is right now?
Stop.
Bay.
The Milwaukee Brewers.
Braves.
Tampa Bay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Tampa is 617, and Milwaukee is 612.
And so you want to talk
and the
about
Dodgers
two
are
very
603. There's 3 teams over 600.
very different styles of winning. The Rays don't spend any money,
Right.
and all the Dodgers do is spend money. So, I mean, the Rays front office deserves the Nobel Peace Prize or something.
We drove by the Tampa Stadium. It's got the Trop is nice now that they've rebuilt it and put a roof back on it.
Yeah, but you know who the GM for the Trop was, right?
Dick Vitale.
No, Andrew Friedman. And Andrew Friedman built that whole Tampa Bay thing. And then he, I don't know, 2 years ago, he's now the GM for the Dodgers.
That's
Andrew
right.
Friedman. So he's now gone from being a penny pitcher it doesn't matter how much
to an open checkbook.
the amount of luxury tax that the Dodgers have spent last year was $184 million. That's just luxury tax. Now, is that why we may have a salary cap in baseball?
Yes.
You haven't been very talkative tonight. Yes. Tell me why. What's the story? Did you have a bad day at work?
No.
He's just happy to be here.
Just happy to be here. I'm just it's kind of like when you warm up the car in the wintertime, it takes a while to get the engine rolling. This is the first show. I got a log. This is a marathon, pal, not a sprint.
Yeah, we're in mid-season form. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, it's 8:11. We got to go. You said 10 past.
And you're thinking about the pizza, right? Because you're smelling it, and you're ready to beat Aaron's ass over there because he's eating it.
Aaron is into it pretty deep.
Yeah.
So hey, listen. We want to thank our guest. Zach Williams was here tonight. Williams Chiropractic Family Clinic. The great Keith Kinder was here. WKRP, the best fact checker in the business. Scott King,
in person.
I'm just saying, and I'm just
like
saying,
an all-star lineup tonight.
Well, no, I mean Scott King is one of the best producers in the business because he's so smart and he has this great understanding of technology. My partner to my right, Pat King. Great being back with you, but I got a bone to pick with you, big boy.
Okay. I got my Teflon on.
All right,
Go ahead.
all right. Big boy's not going to be here next week because he's working a LIV golf event next week.
Sold out to the Saudis.
And he's going to be holding a sign that says "Quiet, please." Now here's the deal. Quiet, please. Why do golfers need it to be quiet?
Well, that's funny.
They don't on the live. They play music.
They got music all over the golf course too.
Well, then why can't people talk?
I
mean, you
bunch of wimpy babies.
100%. You take a look at basketball. I mean, guys shooting a free throw. There's 25,000 people hollering at them. I remember playing in college. And you probably have done this too. I don't know. 2 seconds left in the game. We're up by one. Guy going to the free throw line, got a 1-and-1, right? I tell the ref time, hold on for a second. I want to switch sides to block out. I walk by the shooter. I said, hey, no way you're making this. You can't make this. You're not good enough to make
Put your head
this.
down and start talking, right?
You're not good enough to make this and miss to the left because I got 9 rebounds. I want a double-double.
You said all that walking across the lane?
You can't make this miss to the left.
Sometimes
I
he
want
went
a
back
double.
where he started.
Yeah, then I might go back. But you try and do that. Think about that on the putting green. Hey, you got no shot at making this. Just give it up. But Pat's holding a sign. Quiet, please.
Hey, at the TPC Scottsdale, that one hole, the par 3, they're screaming, and if you hit it in the bunker, they boo you, and it's fun.
Yeah.
But anyway,
do that all the
next
time.
week is the last live tournament, maybe ever.
Wow.
They've canceled the Michigan one. So
And of all the places to end, Westfield, Indiana.
Yeah, they claim that they have new money, but there's no names behind it. So we'll be at Chatham Hills next week.
That blockade in the Strait of Hormuz is really affecting the Saudis.
I found out that you go to the public, they park at Grand Park right there in Westfield, and they've got shuttles to the course from there. And it was the best attended tournament last year in the United States of all of them that they had.
Used to ride my bike on the Monon through Chatham Hills.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Wally Pipp? You know who Wally Pipp is?
You guys mentioned that. Matter of fact, you mentioned that about
Wally Pipp was the first baseman for the Yankees, who was the starting first baseman, got sick, had to take a couple of days off. Lou Gehrig went in and played for the next
14
years every day, 2,400 games or something like that. I'm not saying you're going to be Wally Pipp because we're going to have the great Johnny Be Good here, and Kenny will be here next week.
Interesting. The very next night, I'm supposed to be with him for a football game, and I'm going to miss that too. And then
I'll call a game.
And then,
can you fly in next week?
So
probably.
Can you fly in?
Let me check my schedule.
I'll be 5 days. I'm 5 days down there. And then, and by the way, I will have new information because Labor Day weekend, the weekend that Notre Dame plays at Lambeau, I'm going to Montana State on the Butler team charter.
Jeez.
How's that for getting to fly the high life?
The Tonka.
I'm going
I am
mean,
free.
you know
next,
what?
I am free next Friday.
I'm on the team charter.
So do you
Staying
know
at
what the
team
word
hotel.
Tatanka means?
Don't know if I care. But
Tonka
you go
Jahari.
ahead.
No, you will. It means buffalo. Tatanka.
Tatanka, yes.
Go out there and start going, Tatanka,
Is that it?
Tatanka.
I only know Tonka Jahari.
But Montana State's defending national champs. Anyway,
All right.
I would
Let's
Northborough
go
whole
eat some pizza.
myself.
I mean, so you are loyal to the show, right?
Yes.
I mean, not only do you have the equipment and you set up, you have loyalty.
John will be here next week, and
All right,
you
man.
guys can make things work.
You're the absolute best. Scott, thanks for everything you do. WKRP, you're the best. Patrick,
All right.
show number 1 gets kicked off. We are ready to roll, man.